All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome
Morning.
to Vermont. I'm John Schilling. I'm the GM for Volkswagen's product PR team. Just real quick before we begin the formal presentation, I want to make some introductions. Then I'm going to give a slight update on our situation with the TDI. In the back, I have Jim Birch and Aldo Burrascano with our product planning department. They are going to walk you through the car today. I also have from our design studio out in Southern California, Toshi Yoshizawa, who's in the back, as well as JC Pavone. They will give you a walk around when we're finished down here out front with the cars, and they can give you more of an update on the design of the car at that time. Just real quick on TDI, I don't have a whole lot of updates on top of what Michael Horn gave in his testimony about a week and a half ago to Congress, other than to say that we have a new VIN lookup system on our website. It's actually the microsite of vw.com, where customers can enter their VIN to see if their car has been affected. That was instituted late last week for about approximately 482,000 customers who have the TDI vehicles. We are still looking for a remedy for these cars. We don't have anything right now. It's going to take some time. We haven't announced a formal timeline for when that remedy might come, other than to say we are working on something. I know Europe has issued some statements about a remedy for their cars. That's different than here. The regulations and emissions are obviously different here versus Europe. So we are working diligently. We're trying to find the right remedy for our customers. We will come up with something for them, and once we have that, we will make an announcement. We can answer a little bit more questions after this when we're finished up, but just real quick on the drive. There we go. We had to make a slight change because of the weather. We got a bunch of snow the other day, so we were originally going to go around this area, but they closed down the roads. So we're now making a slight change. The change will be in a route book, so just look for it. But just so you know, we had to make a slight change because of the snow. And I know it doesn't look like there's any snow out there right now, but there was enough for them to close the roads down. Find a partner this morning to drive before we go outside if you could. Drive careful. I don't think there are any icy spots, but there were yesterday. So just be careful, especially on like bridges and overpasses and things like that. There are USBs that we left in your room in a little VW kind of pouch. Bring those along. You can hook them up to the car. I'm going to have Wee Fan Tan, who's in the back, is kind of in charge of our connectivity, infotainment. He's here to answer questions about that. As you get in the cars, please seek him out. He can help you sync your phones with the cars and answer any other questions related to that. So please seek him out. I think that's it. I'm going to turn it over to Jim. Just real quick, one last thing. There's no embargo on any of the information nor the driving impressions, so you're free to go out as soon as you want. Okay, Jim?
Great, thank you, John. I like your shoes, by the way, John.
Well, thanks. Kind of match mine.
Especially for the event.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Birch. I'm the product manager for Passat, and welcome to Stowe. We're very proud of the 2016 Passat, and I hope you'll feel the same way when you drive it and experience it. But before getting on to talking about the 2016, I want to give you some background on, the current generation Passat, where we've been, and the unique part of this vehicle is that for the first time in this 7th generation of the Passat in the U.S. is that it's been designed for the U.S. market and in the U.S. in our very advanced plant manufacturing facility in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Since then, we've built over 400,000 units. And looking at the product itself, right now we're at 36 mpg highway on the 1.8 TSI. We have best-in-class rear legroom. If you notice, I'm 6'7", and I have no problem sitting in that back seat. It's phenomenal. And also, we're IIHS top safety pick. So a lot of great things on the current Passat, but it just gets better with the 2016. And I'll take you through the highlights and go through some other things in detail. So Starting with design, we have the exterior design change with from A-pillar forward, all new sheet metal. Our MIB2 platform, that's our Volkswagen modular infotainment system. We call it MIB2. That has App Connect with CarPlay and accommodates the other smartphones with Android Auto and MirrorLink. LED headlights, that's a new one for us on the VW sedan. LED headlights are standard on the top trim, but they're available for all trims. Driver assistance features, another great thing to talk about with this vehicle, just really chock full with great features. I'll go into detail with that. And of course the trim lineup. We've really streamlined the offering of the vehicle. We've made the trims easier to order, less complexity for the customers and dealers, and we've really put a lot of value into each trim, as you'll see shortly. So moving on to the exterior. Everything from the A-pillar forward is brand new. So hood is completely new, fenders, headlamps that I mentioned before, grille and front bumper. In the rear, the deck lid, the trunk is brand new with the bumper. And then also if you get the LED headlight package, that entails also LED tail lamps. And finally with the V6, if you get that vehicle, you'll notice on the two vehicles we have that they're integrated trapezoidal tailpipes that really enhance the rear end of the vehicle and differentiate it from the 1.8. The R-Line, this is something that is new for us for Passat. R-Line is Volkswagen's sport package, if you will. We've done it, you might have seen it on the Touareg, on the CC, the Tiguan. We offer it typically on the volume trims of those models, and we're doing the same with the Passat. So you'll see that the R-Line, it's got unique differentiation with the front and rear bumpers, and it's got a 19-inch wheel. You'll see that outside. It's the white vehicle on the platform, if you want to look at that closer. But it's based on the S trim, which is our entry trim and our volume trim. So it's a great design, great look, and adds a lot of value for the customer. Looking at the interior, we haven't left that untouched either. Everything's pretty much different. The top dashboard has been redesigned. We have a new steering wheel. We have gauges that are GTI-inspired gauges. New decor, which is one of my favorites because if you look at it, it's a two-piece decor or two-piece trim where the top part is textured metal and then below is the decor itself. In my opinion, it looks great on the car. A lot of little details such as leatherette, for example. When you get leatherette, now we offer contrast piping on the vehicle with the leatherette, so it gives it just a more stately appearance for the customer. A lot of chrome applications that we've added to the car on the door pulls and on the doors themselves around the buttons. So lots to talk about there. Here, the frameless mirror. This is the SE with technology. This is our auto-dimming mirror. And it's a frameless mirror. Also, again, just gives greater quality for the customer. So moving on to the engines, the powertrain. We're launching with two gasoline engines. It's the 1.8 TSI and the V6. So our TSI, we've launched this in 2014. It's the only turbocharged standard engine in the segment. So giving us 170 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque, really gives the car a great fun-to-drive experience that Volkswagen's known for. The fuel economy is also something to note. It's 38 miles per gallon highway now, up from 36. It's an 18.5 gallon tank. That means on a full tank of gas, that's 700 miles of driving. So great story for the customer. The V6, great engine there, along with what's mated to it is the 6-speed dual clutch transmission. So again, another fun experience with that vehicle. Moving on, connectivity is a big story for us with the 2016 Passat. As I mentioned, the MIB2 is launching the new infotainment system, and what that means is larger screens, all touch screen, and better performance and better resolution as well. So we also offer such things as USB now. We've been asked a lot, when's USB coming? So that's coming standard on the vehicle in the front. underneath the climate control system. With the SE, you get a larger screen, plus you can sync 2 phones, which is very unique in this industry. So I, say try that out with your driver, sync your phones and see how that works, where you can choose between both. So that's a great feature. Another USB port will go into the back of the car with the SE trim, so the passengers out in the back can experience that and charge. App Connect, I'll get into that in more detail. And then, of course, XM radio and HD radio. Then with Discover Media, with the higher trims, that's our navigation platform. So it's great with the one-shot voice entry. Works fantastic, so I ask you to try that out as well and experience that. Now looking at more detail into the App Connect. What App Connect is really a way for you to take your smartphone and project the smartphone onto the vehicle screen here. And it's optimized for driving. So the icons are larger, easier to see. And the great thing about App Connect is that this is such a kind of a young technology right now, and it's constantly growing and advancing, and we're seeing new apps coming on almost every week. So, for example, Apple CarPlay, you can now get Pandora on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And the great thing about our system, we're one of the first in the industry to launch this. And you see we also won the Editor's Choice Award at the Consumer Electronics Show in January. But what's great about this system is that it accommodates pretty much all the smartphones out there, the Apple, the Samsung, and Android. So great things. I again encourage you to experience this and try it out. So with CarNet, CarNet's the umbrella for the customer, and that includes App Connect, but it also includes other features that really allow the customer to have a peace of mind while driving, such as automatic crash notification, emergency call. It's a very comprehensive system that we offer. And then looking into the guide and inform, when you get the navigation system, we're looking at Travel Link, and also I encourage you to try this out as well. It's a great feature. It shows you current fuel prices and your location, weather information, and also with the navigation you get SiriusXM traffic with a 4-year trials of real-time traffic. So again, more value for the customer. And if our technology is not peace of mind, the vehicle itself is plenty of peace of mind for the customer, because the 2016 Passat is designed to meet the highest crash requirements by IIHS and NHTSA. We have intelligent crash response systems, and also what's also unique on the Passat, and something you don't see anywhere else, is we offer automatic post-collision braking system. This is standard on the vehicle in the base trim and on up. And what this does is that it applies the brakes in case of an accident where airbags are deployed, and it will apply the brakes and stop the vehicle to help mitigate or avoid a secondary crash. And you'll see this in this demonstration here on the left with multi-collision brake, and without on the right. So again, standard feature, and great thing to talk about with the customers. So moving on, so now that we have the passive safety, we also have driver assistance to talk about with the 2016 Passat, and things that you'll experience on the drive. Rear view camera, standard on all models now. We have our adaptive cruise control, which features front assist. This is beginning with the SE trim, which is one of our volume trims. And then blind spot monitor, which also features rear traffic alert. What that does is that if you're parking out or pulling out of a parking lot or a space, the car will sense oncoming traffic coming at you perpendicularly, and it will stop the vehicle. So it's a great feature. I know I'd love to use it, or love the idea that it's there just in case. So lane assist, another great feature. This actually has the camera in the windshield. This is on our upper trims, but what it does is it monitors the road, and if the driver is drifting out of his or her lane, it will actually steer you subtly back into your lane. So it's not a jolting feeling. It's really well engineered and very subtle. So Again, you'll probably experience that as well if you're driving over 40 miles an hour. Park Pilot, that's our park distance control. And then Park Assist, a great feature, and I hope we can get you to experience this outside. We did this yesterday, and it's always a fun experience seeing the car actually park itself. It parks itself perpendicularly and also parallel. And if you park parallel, turn off the engine, get back into the car, turn it back on, the car remembers, hey, I parked for you, and it'll pull out for you as well if you ask it. So great feature, and that's on our that's on our SEL Premium trim. So moving on, I've talked a lot about all this new content, all that we're bringing to the vehicle. So truly for us, we have a great story to tell. It's a great value story. And the great thing is that we have all this extra content with similar pricing to model year 15. Actually, same pricing in certain cases. So all the trims receive content enhancements. We really have no base car on this vehicle. This is the base car right here that you're looking at, and all the exterior chrome is the same as what you'd see on an SEL Premium. So it's a great looking vehicle, great value with the standard aluminum wheels. And like I mentioned before, we have the dual climate control, rear view camera, touchscreen. So it's a great story for the customer. So I want to walk you through a few of the trims, actually all the trims. These are the first entry trims. S trim is our entry base trim at $22,440, and this is all the new features for model year 16 that I was talking about. That's over $1,300 worth of value for the customer. Our R line, which is based on the S I mentioned before, has the wonderful exterior styling. That's really close to our limited edition that we're at right now offering in the market. So the SE is $26,280. That's the same price as model year 15 as well, with our safety systems such as adaptive cruise control, our app connect that we're talking about with composition media, and the sunroof. And of course you can get the lighting package on all of these trims. Looking higher to the other trims, so SE with technology, great features here that we obviously by the name itself, there's a lot of technology in here with the blind spot, the navigation and Discover Media. And then there's the easy open trunk, something that comes with our Kessie system, and maybe you can figure this out, but what you do is if your hands are full, you just walk up to the back of the trunk, you kick your leg underneath the bumper, and the trunk pops open. So just a nice convenience for our young families who might have their hands full and can't put the baby down. Something like, examples like that. I've been there. So it's a good feature, a great feature to talk about. The SEL, again, more feature, more content, and then our highest trim, which you see the SEL Premium and the V6 as well, where you see the active blind spot monitoring. That's another system that, like the lane assist, it uses the blind spot detection, and with the lane assist coupled with that, if you're drifting into another lane and there's someone in your blind spot, the car will actually move you back into the lane, so mitigating an accident. So really high technology with this segment. Now how do we stack up to the competitors? I say very well. Again, we have the only turbocharged engine in the segment, and that great fuel economy right there with the 700 miles on a single tank of gas. Rear legroom is outstanding. We've got the